scratch.
Say that sentence once again.
I'm obsessed with Ellen DeGeneres
and her home remodeling projects.
in her home remodeling projects.
Okay.
And she had a TV show. They did only 2 seasons of it. Oh shoot, what was it called?
Drew Carey Show.
No, but they had people
Bales,
designing
will you
stuff on the
stop
fly
interrupting? Bales?
and doing these furniture one of a kind things. So, anyways, I was like, "Oh, this is cool," because you watch them design it, and then they would build it, and then they would have the judges, and then elimination, and blah blah blah. And started looking into Miss DeGeneres, and she had some design books out. So I bought one. I was like, "Oh, this will be like maybe some insight into what not only would she like, but maybe that type of personality." Well, it's nothing that's like modern or hip or trendy. She invests in old, genuine furniture. And it's such a class of style. It's totally unattainable. Her stuff it's like art gallery.
I was going to say, she's got to have coin. It's got to be, she's got daytime TV, every woman in the world watching her show, Oprah money. Like, this is what the Ellen says.
Yeah. So that's what I was showing Amanda. There was this lodge or a ranch they bought in Southern California that was just over the top.
Yeah, that's a fantastic show. All the guys are watching it.
All of them.
You know, but I'll tell you one thing. I am getting sick and tired of Bales constantly interrupting the other members of the podcast.
Hey, Bales.
Just Rory.
What happened? What happened to your Didge, bud?
Oh, I think I broke it.
Yeah. Could you show Eloy which one it is?
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Number one, Bales. I'm sorry that happened. How did that happen? Oh, and by the way, don't throw your middle finger. In Miami, you know, customarily, if that happens on the street, you know what you get for that?
A dance party.
High five.
a little
sample.
High four.
A little bottle of lotion and an address in a folded up paper.
A cigar and a sandwich with pickles on it.
Ooh, that sounds delicious, actually.
So what happened to your finger, dude? Did you hit it with the hammer? I bet you did.
No, it's just, I think I fractured it.
We're getting old.
It tingles, so I just decided to splint it because it's been, having broken both hands in the past 12 months, I know what a fracture feels like, and this is what it feels like.
You were doing the subfloor, and I assumed that you felt it during that time?
No, it was before that. I don't know what I did.
We're getting old, dude. My shoulder.
I probably rolled over on it while sleeping.
Did you see? You know what's your problem with our age? You got to be careful. I've got this shoulder situation going on for like 3 consecutive months. Okay, and I'm going to tell you right now, you don't have to flex your fingers early in the morning. You got to let your hands warm up, dude. At our age, you got dude, do some stretching of the fingers.
It's a good tip.
I'm telling you, dude, it ain't easy.
I need more calcium.
It's so screwed up. It's so screwed up. But I'm right there with you, dude. I've had this shoulder injury. And by the way, I don't know how it was injured. I think I woke up one day.
I know. I'm telling you.
You know?
I'm telling you guys.
Fish oil.
Fish oil. And I disagree with what Eloy said. I wake up in the morning and I do like hand stretches. Because if I go to work and I just start gripping and ripping with my pliers trying to cut wire, and I don't do that, I'll pull a muscle.
Just so you know, jerking off does not constitute hand stretching.
Yeah, I'd never get to the second hand, so that's not.
You could do the switch off in between, though. You know.
Yeah.
If you're talented.
Always play stranger.
Yeah.
So anyway, morning hand stretches, not touching myself is important. Higher plane of existence and topic of conversation, my ass, Eloy Escagedo, sir.
You just, seriously though, at a certain age, it started to happen, and you wake up and something hurts, and that's just part of life now. It's like a robot in a space shuttle.
Incorrect. You got to go out and you got to fix this
Why
problem.
do you always have to? Why do you have to always be a contrarian?
How old are you? How old are you? How old are you?
43.
Is that your podcast position to be
Today
contrarian master of the universe?
I am taking Bales' position as the head contrarian master today.
No, Bales is the contrarian with whips. But what I'm trying to say is that, see, I didn't want to go
43, not old enough to just be like, I'm falling apart at the seams. Time to get a walker and pack it in and watch Murder, She Wrote. I don't know what else.
How old are you, Doc?
I got one more year left.
I'm going to be 38 in 9 days.
Okay, now check this out. Bales and I are telling you that from one day to the next, shit starts to fall apart. Either you believe it or not, it's up to you, but you're going to see.
I got a little bit more wear and tear on the old body here from playing football when I was younger. So I would say that physical-wise, we've got to be on a pretty even keel.
No, dude, that's not how it works. Dude.
Oh, it is so how it works.
Well, go ahead.
It's not the age, it's the mileage, bud.
I can't believe this guy. Okay, listen to me. If you were to do it the way you're saying, all things being equal, then you would have a tremendous point. But the thing is that if you notice, not all old people, break apart. You're a human being. I'm a human being. We have similarities more so but it doesn't mean that your organism can. Some people are built to last longer and others are not. Bales happens to be breaking apart as we speak, and it's the same thing with me.
Just like a jalopy.
Might not happen to you.
Every time we see him, he's got another item taped.
Rory's been banging away with frickin' mallets and frickin' for I don't know how long.
About 6 months.
That can't be good on the shoulders, arms, elbows.
Now, all right, Rory, age or mileage?
Oh, I don't know. I'm doing okay. My job's pretty physical as it is. There's times I feel it, but I don't know. Maybe throw a little bit of mental in there. You don't think about it. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, you have to do that at some point.
Look at your. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what about your pops?
Oh, that's a different story. Dad grew up shoeing horses, and that destroyed.
Shoot! Get out of here!
Destroyed his body.
Mileage,
definitely, and he's an aggressive personality.
Right?
He's gonna make it move, and he'll destroy himself doing it.
Did you see that camel that grabbed that dude from the head? Just slung him over the side like saying, "Get out of here, boy. You bother me." I don't know what that has anything to do with anything. But
I don't know. You got a fantastical mind. You just come up with that. Was it from the horses? Did the horses make you think about camels?
Yes.
Is that what it was?
Quadruped.
Hey, that's got feet like a horse. You remember when I saw that meme and the guy got his head bit by the camel? This is Eloy's brain for some reason. That's how it talks.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned Ellen DeGeneres, and we went into this whole thing about degenerative, the body and degeneration. I was watching YouTube and I saw a commercial. Have you ever seen a YouTube commercial that actually fascinates you?
Nope.
No?
I saw an Instagram one that did.
Doc?
Fascinates?
Yeah, like you stick around to watch the ending.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they cater. See, Bales, again, I don't understand why.
Was it a Viagra commercial? And you were wondering if he made it to 4 hours?
He stayed to the end, all right.
I tried at the beginning of this podcast to put things into a more proper. We're talking about aging and this and that, and you're going into all this Viagra stuff. I'm trying to keep it like highbrow, and you're going for the low, below the belt, freaking testicle squeeze.
Ew.
So what?
So I was watching your YouTube channel the other day. Ooh. And you are quite musically talented, sir. I was very impressed.
Why, thank you. I appreciate that, dude.
And I'm not blowing smoke up your dress either. But it comes to mind What if one day Viagra calls and says, Eloy, we love your sound. We're doing this marketing campaign. We need you to write a song. Would you do it?
Dude, in a heartbeat. I am not above or below, doing a freaking Hyundai commercial. Are you kidding? I'm there.
Okay, so they want to use one of your songs for to be you are now going to be the poster child for Preparation H.
Wait, use one of his songs, or he writes a new song?
No. We're gonna use an existing one. So something that already has some. Oh, you want to?
Yeah, it's already done. The work's already there.
Work's already there.
Hey,
they want to target the Cuban demographic in Florida.
Hey, dude, I'm all for it. I have no problem. Like, I don't know. Remember the Jim Morrison, the Doors movie?
I do.
Where Jim Morrison walks into the studio and Ray Manzarek, the organist, and the band was there, and he turns on the TV and there's a commercial. Come on, baby, light my fire. Da, 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 and they're doing like this little car jingle, using their song, and he didn't know, and he got all pissed off and threw the TV and screamed at everybody and this and that. He had this high musical standard where he didn't want to sacrifice his music and sell out and this and that. Well, I don't look at it that way, at all. Roy Orbison and a bunch of them, they would sit in cubicles and write songs all day for commercials and jingles and such. And it's just point of view. So yeah, I'm totally down with making a buck. Don't all rush, bum rush. Don't all bum rush the microphone at once.
We have software to take care of that for us. You don't need to call attention to the silence. You make it worse.
I never.
Sometimes I'm slow to the mute button, buddy. We got mouse problems.
Well, no. If you wouldn't have said what you said, then it would have seemed, even if it was truncated, it would have seemed smooth.
Well, now I gotta edit it out.
No, now it's even worse.
No, now it's an issue and it's staying in the podcast. Way to go! Everyone blame Eloy.
Well, let me tell you what the commercial that I seen, and see what you guys think about it. So, the commercial was about boys and girls in school and the statistics of how they perform, and I was just intrigued by it. So girls typically, and this was like studies and charts and the whole thing, they excel in school, and boys seem to be getting in all sorts of trouble, and it's gotten increasingly worse. They make the argument that it's due to the fact that boys need to expel all this energy, and they've actually cut down on recess time for kids and for all kids, and that affects adversely the boys, because they just need it's that's how boys are, and so they're saying that in the case of reading, everything is sort of turning into a more malleable, gentler thing, and boys have a little bit of I don't want to say aggression, but they're more active. And so, like, reading, it's like more towards poetry and all that jazz, where kids want to, boys want to see a little bit more action and throwing punches and stuff. And so they just lose interest, as a percentile. Not every. I'm sure there's one little kid at the back of the class happy to read poetry all day, But so long story short, they did one example where a kid at lunch grabbed like a Pop-Tart and chewed on it and chewed the Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun. And the teachers came and like reprimanded, called the parents and everything, because he chewed a Pop-Tart to the shape of a gun. And I just found it super ridiculous. We used to play with guns, toy guns all the time as kids. What do you guys think about that?
You chewed it in the shape of a what?
Of a gun.
Of a gun. Oh, I was hearing banana for some reason. Like, what's wrong with bananas?
I don't know, man. When you were little, well, people were getting gunned down in the streets because you lived in Miami, but it wasn't. You just don't. I got I got a son of that age, and
Yeah.
he's kind of aggressive like that. But at the same time, like when I was growing up, no one ever gave a shit about me running off my energy. You know, it was when it was time to behave, it was time to behave, and that's kind of how I deal with my guys. I don't think he's more predisposed to be more aggressive or needs more recess time than anybody else. Needs to learn
No,
to
but they've cut down like nowadays.
Oh, yeah, they've cut down on all that.
I don't know if that's a fact all around. I don't know. It made sense to me what they said.
Well, I mean, the thought process is always if you run them a little bit, they'll be a little bit more sit down and maybe be able to focus because they're not physically as rammy.
Yeah.
But that's cool, man.
I mean, you guys played burn ball at school as well, right?
What?
Burn ball. What?
We called it burn ball, but it
sounds
could be
awful.
dodgeball.
Burn ball?
It could be
Yeah.
dodgeball,
Dodgeball, sure.
where you freaking slam the freaking ball to your opponents on the other side. If it hit them, they're out. And you try to nail them sometimes in the legs or feet, because that was the easiest way. Like the body, they could contort the torso, but the feet were usually they'd have to do some jumps and this, and sometimes they'd jump over the ball as it was coming through. It would hit them on the toes, and they'd flip forward and smash their faces on the ground. And we used to do that prior to school, during school, and it was no issue. In fact, not even the parent, no one would work. Well, in the commercial, they said that kind of stuff is banned now in school.
It is. And that's because back then, everybody was too busy smoking cigarettes to worry about it. Well,
So we're saying chewing a gun-shaped object out of a Pop-Tart is more
Bad.
violent than dodgeball.
no,
That's-
equally as violent.
Equally as violent.
Yes.
Well, something like that,
We weren't allowed to play dodgeball when I was in elementary school.
You were not?
No, man, I went to Catholic school. They were
I
all
went
about.
to Catholic school too.
They were
but
all about like you can't because we had all these kids, city people's kids. You come in there and get some country bumpkin and whacking your kid in the face and flip out.
plus, your parents are paying for it.
Right.
They want their kids home.
we played kickball. There was lots of kickball in elementary school.
So,
Kickball, yeah.
so none of you guys, maybe Rory, played dodgeball.
Not until we got to high school.
We did dodgeball and pinball.
What's pinball?
It was dodgeball with a bowling pin.
I don't believe you.
Each side had one bowling pin, and you could end the entire game if you knocked over the other team's bowling pin.
Oh, I thought you throw.
Yeah. I thought you were throwing balling.
No.
Oh.
So yeah, dodgeball with a kill switch. So
Okay.
one guy would be the guard, and if you caught the dodgeball, then the guy that threw it was out.
Well, wait a second. So if you hit the guy with the ball, they're out, and as the team starts to decrease in number, that pinball or that bowling pin. Did pinball? What the hell?
They called it pinball.
But what was the actual?
It's a bowling pin.
Yeah,
Okay.
bowling pin. They're not saying bowling pinball because that would sound weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good though. Okay, that's
It would have been
fun.
a piece of corn instead of a bowling pin.
Yeah, but we ate the corn, so
That's good.
Bales, what was your high school logo?
the high school logo. We were the rail splitters.
Rail splitters.
See, it always
Yeah.
has to go to the lowest denominator with Bales.
We Abraham Lincoln High School, the rail splitters.
Nice.
What's a
It
good
all
one?
makes
That's a good nickname.
Yep.
That's funny. What
What were
was
you?
yours?
The street taco?
The Bulldogs.
Were you really?
Mm-hmm.
You weren't the duck stuck in the sewer drain?
The Gators.
No, Bulldogs. What?
The
what
Master
about-
Gators.
It was just a couple lines of cocaine cut up on a on a mirror. That was the logo. That was the logo.
The airboats.
They got like a razor blade as a mascot.
Dude,
Give me a C.
dude, if Bales, if you come down here, dude, you talk that way in South Florida, you'll end up you'll wake up dead the next day.
I doubt it.
Whoa.
How do you wake up dead?
Wake up dead.
How do you do
Very
that?
uncomfortable.
Oh my god! I can't believe I slept and I'm dead.
Not again.
Damn it!
The Everglades is where bodies go to get lost. I'm telling you right now. That's the equivalent of like in the gangster movies, the Italian gangster movies, where they, hey Joey, let's go out to the countryside for a second here. We got a little conversation. Boom, done. Except in the swamps, it's done. I mean, you're not gonna find anything out there. Everything you could imagine, cars, people, everything. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Did you find anything weird?
I never did. That's why it's such a, because it's so vast of a place. I never saw any, nothing weird. Well, I'm not gonna tell that story. Screw
Oh,
that.
come on.
No, because it's loose. It's Bales is just gonna have a field day, and I'm not gonna have that.
I'll be good.
You promise?
Yep.
I might have told the story before. Doc will absolutely stop me if I have. We used to go out at night on the airboats, and you're traveling through the water, and it's dark. You can't see anything. And what they do is they put these miner hats on with the lights, and they connect it to the battery terminal, and that way you have lights you can see. The danger of the Everglades on a boat is that you can run into an island, because the islands are small heads with trees and mud and the branches. In fact, some people have been going, down, as fast as they can, and they ram into a branch. If that hits you on the torso, that can bust your everything. And that's happened to people, by the way, and that's bad. It happened to a dude while I was working there. But anyways, we used to go out, and on the 4th of July, we'd go to one of those islands and just hang out, drink whiskey, and just, everybody there. So we get up on the island. It's nighttime, and I don't know what I dropped. I dropped something, and I went to pick it up, and I was trying to find it, and I feel this thing. I find this thing, and I grab it. We're in the middle of nowhere. And I grab it and I lift it up and I look and I point it towards the moonlight to see, and a freaking condom, dude, in my freaking hand, dude.
Rainbow trout.
Dude, I threw that thing and put my hand in the water, which is, by the way, dirty anyhow, but it's better than nothing. And what I had to have that hand non-use for the rest of the evening until we got back to a freaking, and I washed that thing, dude. I hit it. Look, I first thing I turned on water so it can wash away. Then I hit it with alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and I let it sit there so it could penetrate any crevice and pores of my hands. And then I freaking soaped it again. I think I used that Gojo stuff. Dude, I glistened the hand.
You want a little OCD?
Well, dude, a freaking condom that people go out there and bang, and who knows what crack infested. I just horrible. So
did your hand smell funny though?
I never smelled it.
Oh, you didn't even smell it? You got to. That's like a natural, like, you gotta check on it.
Just one little whiff.
Yeah,
No, dude, because I would be afraid to. No, I don't want. No.
Have someone else to smell it?
Yeah. Hey, man, smell my
Hey,
finger.
smell my finger.
I like how you washed your hand in the water that you pulled it out of. It's like, oh, you threw it back into the same water that you were in, just further away, and then you stuck your hand right back into that same water, and you're like, oh, all right, I'm good now.
Well, it wasn't. It's more like, it's like a muddy bank shore, and it was in there, and I had dropped something. I forget what I dropped, but I went reaching for it, and sure enough, it was so horrible. It was so. The horrible part is just that, finding that, but the horrible, and touching it. But the horrible part was not being able to. My hand was basically for those like 2 hours. We went back, and just horrible. I did not have fun that evening.
It's before the days of Purell.
Yeah.
If that was the case, you definitely would have had some Purell in your fanny pack, and you would have been like, hold on, I got this.
No, you see, that's the last thing.
WD-40 and a lighter.
No, see, you guys are thinking. See, when you're in the Everglades, you're not about the Purell and the wet naps and you're not doing that. You're freaking outdoorsman.
You would have some though. Like
What?
I know outdoorsmen, they have that Purell with them for a lot of reasons. That's a multitasking item you can carry. If you had to clean something, you can. Also, it's alcohol based. It's a good fire starter.
It's a good lube.
Sounds burny. Ow. That sounds raw-ish.
How you play burn ball?
Damn,
Burn.
Bales.
Bird ball, and Rory gets a point for the what do we call that? Hold on. Callback.
Callback. Burn ball.
Mm-hmm.
Purell on the sack. Damn, dude.
So you guys like that 90s group photo? That turn out okay?
Dude, that's
That worked out?
yeah, dude.
Again, I love the emptiness in Bale's eyes looking at the camera.
Yeah, but it was an emptiness, but yet if you look deep enough into the eyes, there's a satisfaction and contentness in his placement there.
That's a man who's given up on his dreams right there.
Someone who's slowly lowering their standards.
Yep. Yeah.
And I didn't even need to add the jewelry that was already on them. It was perfect.
Like I said, that picture had to be 4 dudes taking a picture for their grandmother.
It was. It totally was.
It was like, hold on, we got to take a picture for grandma. What are we going to do? I'll go to the mall.
I swear to you, it's there's a slight disco or pop boy band or Christmas, but not Christmas at the disco vibe to it. It's perfect.
Well, it's got the laser background, which dates it. So I have to imagine when that was actually taken.
That's got to be an early 80s or, early 80s sort of
You
Sears.
think?
It was hard to find a picture of four guys in that kind of set.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
well.
Hit the wrong button.
He was about to say,
Oh, that's awesome.
Wrong
now
button.
why'd you do that?
Sorry.
We're back. Wouldn't that be awful if that's how he left?
Boom.
What happened? He just bailed mid-podcast, mid-sentence. I guess he just couldn't take anymore. He was just like, I'm out. Done.
So
And
was
season 5.
We're back with season 5.
What was going to be the last bit that you were going to say there before you press the wrong button?
I don't remember. What were we talking about?
Oh, crap.
How hard it was to find a picture of 4 dudes like that.
Yeah. So it was finding that. And then by request, we had the laser 90s background. That was easy to find. But yeah, a lot of guys, three brothers of 3, but finding brothers of 4 or a family of 4 was hard. Unless we wanted somebody to be females.
Eloy would have been fine with that.
Oh, see, I thought you said you were going to play nice. All right, that's how you want it.
I just said I was going to play nice during your condom story.
Flip the switch, baby. Flip the switch. Here we go.
You and your freaking Everglade Twinkie.
Yeah.
It was a pickle of the Florida pickle.
Swamp pickle.
Oh, I went up my nose.
A swamp stickle.
Oh, that burns. I had. Hold on.
Ooh.
I got better.
I was taking a drink and it almost went out my nose and then it got stuck and now it just burns.
How many crack stories do you guys got? Yeah.
I don't have any crack stories.
Yeah, I don't have any crack stories.
When you're out in the woods, you see crazy things. But we'll leave that for another episode.
Like Sasquatch?
I don't know, but nothing is funnier to me than the swamp pickle right now. I'm going to be the name of this episode for sure.
Swamp pickle and fireballs?
See, that's not... It shouldn't be the focal point of the episode. I don't want to remember it forever.
Just because it's in the title doesn't mean it's the focal point. What I like to do is just pull out funny little words.
Well, how about soccer ball, whatever Bales was playing with the pinball thing?
Pinball? That's not...
Scratch, pinball.
Okay. Pinball scratch. We're going to do that.
Whatever, dude. So what's been going on with you guys?
Nothing. Sounds like Rory's been stuck at home during snowstorms, though.
He's stuck at home, and then we're slow at work, so I am photoshopping pictures and doing office stuff.
That is so boring.
I know. I've been like watching so many conspiracy theory videos. It's ridiculous.
Well, good. See, that's what I'm talking about. These guys won't entertain that stuff.
Rory, are you watching the new show called Project Blue Book?
That's a negative.
He's just told you he's been watching conspiracy. That's an open door into the wonderful realm.
Yeah, but Project Blue Book is about the whole alien UFO stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a show on History Channel.
Oh, I don't
After
get the
Vikings
channel.
Oh, well, I don't either. I just stream it the day after.
Well, can you elaborate a little bit?
No, because I've only watched one episode.
All right, so what are we conspiring about?
The moon is hollow,
Oh, I love it.
And it rings like a bell.
and it rings like a bell.
Oh, shoot.
And when
You know
hear
what?
it,
Doc Bales is investigating the strangeness on the internet of conspiracy. I did not expect that from Bales.
you wouldn't expect that a guy that is going to Egypt to look at the pyramids has no ties to outer space at all. He's not invested in that. That you wouldn't think that at all, because to me that goes hand in hand.
Like the pyramid on Mars.
Exactly. By the way, I know nothing of what you guys are talking about. I'm just going to keep winding you up and agreeing. So yes, pyramid on Mars.
Well, yeah, there's people that say all the math doesn't add up for the mass of the moon.
The distance.
Yeah.
It doesn't
dude.
rotate. How it's locked.
Yeah. Hey, look out. You know what?
I got you.
The astronaut saying that when they landed on it, it rang like a bell. Oh, yeah.
So
One of the tests that they did is that they left the seismographs on it to monitor the vibrations. And when they left the moon, part of the fuselage, they had to drop off to help with their liftoff. And when they did that, they said, well, when we do this, let's measure that vibration. And from that, they could get more information about its density. And when it hit, one article said it rang for like an hour. Another one said it rang to 14 hours. But everyone involved said it rang for a very long time.
Okay, so we think this is a natural item and
Yes.
hollow.
Yes, it acts like it. is
Well,
what
some people say it's not natural,
Man-made.
not man-made, alien-made.
they say. Alien station, like a.
Oh,
They keep saying Death Star, but I don't know. I'm not seeing
And
a
some
Death
people
Star.
say that
Artificial planet.
some people say it's just a projection up in the sky.
Who? Filmmakers from 1920 where they shoot a rocket into its eyeball?
That's also another conspiracy is that
Oh, some people say it's made of cheese.
currently there's people. So look, if you're on if you are aware of YouTube's possibility of generating money, and you have no scruples whatsoever,
Ooh, scruples. Yeah.
and you're fairly intelligent,
Mm-hmm.
because
I'm
these
out.
people aren't stupid. I could envision me sitting here, maybe with a couple of friends that are down with the plan, and creating the most elaborate sort of series of connecting sort of odd, factoids or assumptions, and creating a backstory to support it with actual and then putting that out in video form to get millions of views, and all of a sudden you have the birth of a conspiracy. So that exists as well. There's a lady that thinks that there's no mountains on Earth.
Where does she live?
On a mountain? No. Yeah,
Cornfield.
in a valley.
Sweetwater.
No, she says that and particularly she'll use as an example Australia. She'll say those mountains are actually what do you call that when not decayed but like fossilized and shit, trees that used to reach up way beyond what you would expect trees. There is no mountains, and so that's a whole other conspiracy thing. Based on
she thinks mountains are fossilized trees.
they're cut down trees. and there's a whole mystical sort of thing about it. It goes on and on. So it's like, I mean, dude, not to contradict, but I like the whole conspiracy thing, but there's a balance as well. The Sasquatch or Bigfoot, I don't know about those areas up, wherever that's from. I think that's the Northwest.
Pacific Northwest?
Maybe, yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, down here, with the advent of that years and years and years ago,
Swamp ape.
We have the swamp ape.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd that come from? Well, we have a swamp ape now, dude.
Explains the swamp pickle.
Oh, maybe the swamp
you beat
ape.
me to it. That's where I was going.
Maybe the swamp
Beat you
ape.
to it, did I?
Yes.
The
I
swamp.
was gonna say, explains the condom, but you sweetened it up.
There's nothing sweet about it, okay?
How do you know? How do you know?
What's
Just
it
the
called?
bitter taste buds are in the back of your throat.
Oh man.
Oh God.
What's the little bell at the back of your what's that called?
Uvula?
The uvula. No, dude.
What's it called?
Uvula.
No, the swamp. What?
The swamp ape?
Swamp
Oh.
ape.
No, the skunk.
He went to town on that uvula.
Or the
thing,
skunk
too.
skunk ape too?
You're shocked now, Rory?
He rang it like a bell.
Yes.
It ties in,
Burn ball all over
It's-
again.
it ties in with the
And
hollow
it's the burn ball.
and the hollow moon ringing like a bell. I mean, this all ties in. You're shocked at that. For goodness
It was-
sake.
When you go ding 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 with what we're talking about, it just that represents movement.
It's true. Well, in any event, it's called the skunk ape.
Skunk ape.
Skunk ape.
And they invented, they think, or
What
they
about Swamp Thing? He's a Yeti.
No.
Yeah.
That was a
That's-
chemical reaction.
Oh,
Yeah. But long story short, there's all these conspiracies. But as far as the moon, I've seen the hollow one, and I've seen the projection one, and I can't believe that you guys take such exception to the projected moon.
sorry, I am deep in.
Where's it projected from? It would
Yeah.
only take one guy named Kenny to stand in front of the projector to debunk it.
Yeah, I don't put any faith in any of the things, any of the conspiracies where it's like, and it's just been perfect forever. Yeah, forever and ever and ever. They just gotten it right.
But what when you have like NASA that says, yeah, it did ring for a really long time, and we don't know why.
What if like the spring in their seismograph wasn't tight enough and it was just like freaked out, or when they put it down on the payloads, it was like
When one guy had one job and he quit that day.
yeah. Fred was like, you know what? Screw this seismograph, and you know what? I've had enough of your shit, Scott. I'm tired of taking your shit. And he threw it down and he left, and Scott just picked it up. And I'm like, oh yeah, we're good.
All right.
Could be.
I think that's probably exactly what it was.
Well,
Freaking
how about? Did you guys see the conspiracies about the Tesla car that was sent up by this whatever that guy's name is?
Elon Musk?
Mm-hmm. Did you see those?
You gonna tickle my balls a little more? Or are you just gonna tell us?
No, I was waiting for a yes. I mean, this is a audio podcast, so the response is important.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
So they're saying that no car was launched into space. It's all bunk.
Why would they go through the? Okay, why?
So no, you're doing what if you're gonna do it that way. If your argument is gonna, why would they expend? Then no conspiracy is worth, and nothing is worth. Because you can always find an excuse around it.
He's an eccentric billionaire who wanted to launch the first car into space. Why would
Yeah,
he? Why would he bother making it up? He's just gonna do it.
right. But what you're doing is okay. You haven't even heard
Okay, go ahead.
what some of the things are. So the fact that he can do it because he's got the wherewithal, financial and whatnot, that's one thing. But another thing is to actually jettison a freaking car out into space, and then the issues that these people were bringing up, like they said that in space it's a vacuum. So what? It's quite the opposite of what would happen underwater with a lot of pressure on something. What happens to a submarine if it loses pressure?
It implodes.
Right. And what happens to something in space if the same thing occurs? It loses pressure.
Yeah, but he didn't jettison it. It just went up for a ride and came back, didn't it?
No, it's supposed
No,
to
it's
go.
en route.
Basically, a car is traveling towards the Mars or space or who knows where.
And what's the issue that we think it would explode or implode?
No, so they were saying things like the textiles on the car, the car itself, the tires, all of that would have gone to shit because you have extreme heat and cold. Depending on if the sun's touching you or not, space is super cold and heat, and where the sun touches it, it's super. Where there's no sun, you have just completely cold where everything is, and where you have sun, it's completely hot without the filter of our atmosphere. Between the hot and cold, the paint, the upholstery, the plastics would all go to shit in space. It's exposed.
Okay. He doesn't plan on reselling it though, so who cares?
The thing
You're gonna
is,
trade it in,
dude,
new car, light miles,
you should
one
entertain.
driver.
Well,
We only took it on this one trip.
no, the
No,
thing
really. Look at the Carfax. The odometer hasn't moved at all.
Never needed an oil change.
I'm looking at that site.
Look, here I'll do the penny test on the tire tread. It's fine.
Okay, but do you not?
I have a question. Another question.
I'm not, by the way, okay, Doc, but I'm not like saying that I believe or not believe. I'm just saying that that's one thing that's out there, and there's valid questions to it.
See, I saw that, and I really didn't take that as being an actual car.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, you mean that he's like, all right, well, I'm strapping it to a rocket, which has to be made of certain materials, but then somehow I'm going to send a set of Goodyears into space.
That's what he did, and in fact, he actually said that. They asked him about it, and he said, "That's stock how a car comes."
I also think he's a liar when it comes to stuff like that.
Because I mean,
But hey, whatever.
there's issues involved with that, whether you entertain it or not. I'm saying just in general, there's issues that should bring up questions that maybe they can be resolved, maybe not, but it's like everything else, you have to ask it, like the pyramids that Bales is going to go visit. I mean, there's questions there. You don't just like sweep it under the rug, and say, whatever. Oh, it's an interesting thing, and maybe there's something to it. Maybe he is a liar. Maybe that thing is built for space, or maybe it's not even in space. Maybe that whole thing didn't happen, and it's just a sort of like a marketing tool to sell Teslas. And they filmed it in a studio, and yes, everybody was in on it.
Who filmed it? Stanley Kubrick?
Yeah.
Michael Bay was busy.
Hey, do you put it past people to bullshit the public at large?
Nope.
I don't as well. But then again, there's the position that Doc usually, and I understand it, and I kind of agree.
I was going to say it again. I take the position of I will put it past people to get it right.
No, the one that I was going to say is that, and it's not an unreasonable position, is that what can we do about it? How does it affect me? Because you said that, and at the end of the day, you're kind of right.
That's the way I feel about it too. I have questions about the moon landing, and I go back and forth between. I've gotten to the point where I have no clue.
Yeah, I mean,
either way. So it's like I can't even. My head's gonna explode if I think about it anymore, or read anything about it, or watch anything about it anymore. So, whatever. I've gotten to this age without knowing. So, see if I can get through another 38 years.
I will tell you this, guys. I don't know this for a fact, but I completely disagree that we come from frickin' monkeys.
Okay, so where do we come from?
No, I don't have the answer to that.
Skank ape. Or what's
No,
it
it's not
called?
the skank. Did you just say the skank ape?
Skank ape. Is that what it's called?
The Skank Ape and the Swamp Pickle, episode 402. I'm gonna write it down right
That's good.
now. The Skank Ape.
Did you say skank ape? I
I
heard
said skank ape. What's it called?
Skunk ape.
Skunk ape. Ah, it's close.
And the Swamp Pickle.
Swamp pickle.
No, dude, we did not come from monkeys. I'm
Pickle.
sorry.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure. I don't know. My instinct says we did not come from monkeys. No, seriously, I don't. Do you guys believe we came from monkeys? It's okay if you do believe that.
No, I think we came from great apes.
That's what I mean, dude.
Nope, different.
Okay, I don't think we came from great apes. I don't think we branched off and we were the few that continued to procreate, and then that combination started to evolve into what we now call this exquisite shell that we call humans. No,
So we were created by a man in the clouds?
I believe that we were
Skank ape.
created. No,
We were a hybrid species, genetic engineered by aliens?
Bales.
We were squirted out by the clan of skank apes.
Bales, I do believe that we were that we were created by an intelligence.
So we're
I-
test tube babies?
I do believe that we were. Look, I'm not saying that I know that. I could be completely wrong, and in fact, I don't even know. But I'm saying that I lean towards that we were created
In a
not-
beaker.
I don't know. But okay, guys, I'm just gonna tell you this because we were born, us. Just think for a moment, us. We were born, and the society we grew up in, in all our individual areas, we have common threads, innumerable common threads culturally and whatnot. We grew up, when we were born, we opened our eyes and we began this process of experiencing things and taking in information. And in fact, this that we're having now, a discussion where, I'm communicating with you guys and back and forth and we're exchanging ideas. This is all fantastical stuff that, in my mind, and I know that there's a contradiction that you can always bring up, but I'll just say where I stand on it, is that this is all unnecessary. This constant supposing in our brains, questioning in our animals, as far as I know, the questioning is limited to sustenance, procreation, and like the basic. They're animal. There's quite a difference between everything else on this planet and us as far as intelligence. We can adapt, manipulate, change our environment. It's what's the purpose of it? We could have been perfectly good as apes. We could gather and hunt as apes, fling our liquids, from trees.
That's an endless debate, because you could argue that why did we not stop at bacteria?
That is true. That's a good.
But it's about efficiency. It's about survival, and being that we behave like a tribe, like a clan, like these other animals do, and being that genetically we are very close to the monkey.
We're also
to the ape.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. Like, that's a very reasonable to me. What you just put is a great freaking, like, I'll go down that road with you. But I do want to say that genetically, we're also quite close to every freaking other thing on this planet. Like our genetics, like close to even plants. There's genetic similarities, percentiles, but we are different. Aren't we? I mean, just the fact that we're communicating, it's a mind-blowing freaking thing. The way we're communicating on machines that, as a society, we created, it's just, there's so many layers of mind-blowing stuff that we do that it leads me to think that maybe what Bales thinks, that like aliens or something. I don't know. Personally, I don't.
Eloy, even with the information that they say we are only 1% difference in DNA from a chimp. doesn't hold any weight.
It does hold weight. I'm not saying it doesn't. And again, I'm saying that I don't know. So, like, I'm not saying like, hey, I'm
Flip on me. You got to pick a side.
no. But see, I don't. Okay, I can't do
Game of Thrones.
No, I can't do that. Well, look, just the way I am, I can't do that because I'm not asserting it as fact. I'm just saying that this is where my brain is at. Because truly, honestly, that's how I think. That's very powerful. What you're saying, but that 1% is freaking astronomical. It is astronomical. That 1% is astronomical. Look at us. Yeah, but you could argue also, I guess, that those that created or the creator, however you want to, well, there's a common creating force, and all these things share similarities, and yet a plant's a plant, a donkey's a donkey, a human's a human. I mean, there's a lot, dude. It's mind blowing that we can freaking, I don't know, skateboard and do ollies. And you may think, well, a monkey can be trained to get on a skateboard, but you get what I'm saying. It's just fantastical. I'm not saying that.
So you just admired the human more than you do any other animal.
Personally, yeah, you have to, and we are more dangerous, of course, but you have to, because, well, for goodness sakes, dude, I'm talking to you. You're in Colorado. You in your particular, you're sitting in a structure that was built to house you and your family. There's a shop, you know, where you create things. Bales over there is wearing Martian, what was his name? Suits and hitting his fingers with hammers that was built by men. It's just, find me any creature. Yes, ants can gather in little ant piles and create little networks of this and that, but we invented pesticides. It's freaking crazy. I'm not saying that I believe one way or the other. I'm just saying that I lean towards that we were created.
No, you're a monkey.
I take offense to that.
So, are you saying that you're not going to eat that banana?
I'll pass it on to Bales. He can have that banana.
I'll eat it.
Oh, I know you will.
Jeez.
Dang. You're going to take the whole swamp pickle.
Yikes.
Damn, dude.
Call me a skank ape. Call me.
Swamp pickle.
In any event, yeah, it's always a. But you know, the to recap this, you know, or to tie it up, I'm always amazed that there's so much that one does not freaking comprehend. I'm always short of grasping a concept, and there could be a moment where a concept is right there, kind of, so, and then it's gone. You know, it could gone. We're always shy of knowing any truth or anything, and knowing it 100%. There's always something else around the corner that complicates a frickin' answer. And me by nature, I think I share this with Bales. It seems, I don't know, maybe Bales, who knows? But that curiosity, you know, I think that's what stands apart as far as humans are concerned. That constant curiosity, never ending, and never being able to know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of that one race you guys had mentioned it, the Anunnaki. Is that right?
Yeah.
So one of the theories is that the Anunnaki found Earth, found that it had a bunch of gold in it, and this is where I laugh at it, because you have a alien race that can travel, has this great technology, but they're unable to mine the planet, so they create humans to dig for the gold for them, and that's why we are here.
Well, supposedly the Anunnaki had a slave race, but the slave race revolted and they were running out of workers. So then they genetically engineered the human race out of monkeys. And initially, the human race that they made were sterile. And then they were like, oh man, we got to keep making these damn things. So then they made it possible for us to reproduce. And then we reproduced too much.
Yeah, they did too good a job.
Right. So then they decided, well, a cataclysm is going to happen soon. So let's just let that happen and wipe out most of these little pesky shitheads. And that supposedly is the biblical flood. And they were mining gold because they needed it to repair their atmosphere, which was failing.
Ah.
And they supposedly live on the hidden planet of Nibiru, which has an elliptical path and cycles close to us every 3,600 years.
So you got it all.
Dang, Bales, he whipped out the book.
Yeah, you gave us coordinates and everything, dude.
And they got a meetup group you can join for free.
Yep, because Anunnaki, they say that they're depicted in the old Sumerian carvings.
There is some strange stuff, dude. Who knows? That's what I'm saying. I'm not. Who knows? Maybe some. That's. I'd hate to think that one though.
Anunnaki.
I mean,
it's a great story, the Anunnaki. I mean, that's a rabbit hole for days.
I'd hate to think that that's the case, dude. I like to think that there's something more to look. I know that it could be wishful thinking, so I'm not. I like to think there's something more to us than just, the motor function of reproduction.
So you'd rather be a genetically engineered sterile rock breaker than evolved from a monkey.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just... I don't know what to tell you, dude. It's pointless then, dude. No, seriously. It's pointless then. Seriously, dude. It's all pointless. It's pointless. Anything to do with mysticism and like Rory with his ghost radio frequency stuff. And
that stuff is cool.
Oh man, I'm gonna fly out to Colorado just to do some ghost hunting with Rory.
You don't have any ghosts in freaking Boston, dude?
We probably do.
What if we
have an older history, but
yeah.
But my company has
let's do some Scooby-Doo stuff.
My company has an office in Westminster. I don't know how close that is to Rory. Maybe I can get a work trip, and then we can start a YouTube channel where we hunt ghosts.
with starring Axel as Scooby-Doo.
He's always sleeping. He's like,
yeah. Let's see who you really are, Dad.
But what if this whole thing that we live are dimensions? We know there's dimensions. We know we live in the third dimension. We know this. But what if this reality that we're embarked on right now? Look, my lights are flashing right now.
Is someone else's Donkey Kong game?
Is someone burning palm fronds outside? Is that what's going on right now? So the lights are flickering.
It's a Skank ape alert.
You're the boring character in Sims 12. Well, I just made Eloy and I took away all his food in his bed, so he's just pooping himself and sleeping on the floor now. Like, isn't that what Sarah did to you in our little video game? I think she did it to all of us, actually.
I didn't know that she pooped me out.
She made all of us as characters in her stupid Sims video game, and she took away all of our food and she took away our beds. Remember? And she sent a screenshot because she said that my character kept falling asleep on the floor with his butt in the air.
I just kept running outside.
Yeah. And we kept fighting with each other.
You two kept fighting. I just kept running around outside.
Yeah.
I have no freaking idea.
And Rory just kept blacksmithing things
the whole time.
Fighting words.
When was this, dude?
You should embrace that.
A half ago.
I have to. I mean, culturally,
yeah, I think it's time. Yeah, but I think it's time you put that on the shirt. You should own the shirt. Blacksmithing. To blacksmith.
Yeah, make it like a dictionary entry.
Yeah.
You're a blacksmither.
Usually done by a dumbass. See, also, I don't know what I'm doing.
Possibly owns a welder.
A MIG welder.
Guilty.
Or blacksmithing with a silhouette of a grinder underneath it.
That's how I weld. That's also how I weld.
The multi-tool.
That's how I demo and woodwork.
I just don't get enough time on those machines to be proficient enough to not need the grinder.
Grinder, I just met her.
Oh.
You show her a swamp pickle?
That's the second date move.
Ah,
Smart.
Not really.
Not in Miami.
You can dig in whenever you want. I know I did.
Eloy just takes him in the movies, gets the smallest bucket, and puts a hole in the bottom.
Dude, what's up with I that's a good idea.
Dig deep, Mary.
That's a brilliant idea. You always come up with the best ones.
Make sure the butter's not too hot.
How many? Oh, don't worry about that.
Yeah. With salt content. It burns.
Hey, the butter's not supposed to jump back out of the bucket.
Oh.
Oh, well. But it is yellow, so it's okay.
Why is it yellow? You need some penicillin. God.
I didn't say me.
Oh.
I'm talking about you. Isn't it your bucket?
Hey, I thought we got buttered popcorn. Why does it look like caramel corn?
Ew. Sorry I brought this up.
Yeah.
Hey.
Poor line of questioning.
we didn't even get through the trailers.
No. This movie already sucks.
Yeah, let's go home. We're done with this movie.
Man, I'm tired.
Gross.
Oh, I love the little below the volume level comments to separate distance yourself from the freaking thing you started. And you do it well, convincing, just shy of convincing. So, anyways, what's on the blackboard?
We don't have a blackboard anymore.
A whiteboard. I know there has.
I think it's blank.
I think it is too. Yeah. We have no new items.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go. Ooh. Thanks for adding that to the podcast.
Get it out. Ooh.
You know what though? I think you guys. I just saw a movie. It's called The Bird Box.
We talked about that already.
Okay, we can skip that then.
Yep.
God.
It's a good movie though. You should check it out.
And then there was this dude for the
Palm froms.
You guys like that word, don't you?
I do. I've never heard that before in my life until you said that should be what the Scratch logo is. It should be a guy burning palm fronds.
Did you guys see the speaking of Netflix, the trailer for Velvet Buzzsaw?
No.
Yeah, it looks horrible.
Is it horrible?
What is Velvet Buzzsaw?
It is a horror movie, we'll say.
I'm freaking down with the plan. Is it good or is it shitty?
The trailer looks good. Or I thought.
Bales is such a negative Nelly for no reason whatsoever.
I saw the trailer. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal in it.
Contrarian Bales.
Some artwork is demonically possessed and kills people.
What's the name of it?
Velvet Buzzsaw.
Yeah. I still have yet to see the 2018 Halloween movie.
Me as well.
God damn it.
I'll tell you what. It's unfortunate, but I did see it. That Jason movie where he's in space in the year 2050 something. Jason X.
Jason in space?
Yeah. Did you guys ever see that one? It's an old one, but I saw it recently on Netflix.
No.
Thank you, Bales. I appreciate that. Jason is in space and killing people in space.
Mm-hmm.
He gets frozen in a cryogenic state,
Yep.
along with the lady that was hunting him down or whatever. Back in 2010, they pop up in the year 20 something, like 400 years after the fact, and chaos ensues. And it's Jason up in space. It's just so ridiculous, dude, that a Hollywood freaking company would even decide to budget for that movie. It's mind blowing. But
we should do that. Scratched in space.
Scratched in space.
I like it. Let's make it happen.
we could do it.
Let's make some phone calls. Who do we know? Who do we know in space?
Elon Musk.
Horrible.
We're gonna send the first bucket of chowder bowl. We're gonna send the first bowl of chowder into space.
There's never been chowder in space.
Chowder in space, Eloy. We could do that.
Have the sequel be the milk jug in space?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was the first. That was the first reference of the milk jug in like 4 episodes. We were doing so well.
Yeah.
And then we opened up the closet door, and there it was sitting there, and it was like,
Gross.
so gross.
Nelly staring right back at you.
Glow in the dark.
Iridescent.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, I guess, man. Oh,
Stick it in and fill me up again.
it's still hard to. Yeah.
It's not something you want to keep around.
Oh, you gotta measure.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Dude, and the thing is, I hate to bring this up, but that the guy lives in a small community, and word gets around in small communities. Hell, that guy's gonna be stuck with that, especially now that we've created a whole world around it, a nightclub and so on. But that's just a bad move, man. Bad move.
But did he like pick it up from was this like family tradition, or did he did impromptu? The moment was there, and he the closest thing to him, and it has a handle, and it just worked out.
For our audience that is new, Bales is going to explain to you everything that happened. Go ahead, Bales.
Oh yeah, good. Bales.
Every year on January 1st, we start a new family jug.
Oh,
We write the surname and the year.
that's horrible, dude. See, this is great grandpappy's jug here.
That is disgusting.
It's all wood with iron straps around it.
Yep.
Got a cork on the hole.
Yep.
Yeah. This is our 1800s family tree right here.
Got some carved in lines on the inside to make sure you're meeting your quarterly goals.
Those chicken crosses on the out. How many times?
We can trace our family DNA.
The predecessor to 21andMe.
We can trace our family DNA back to medieval time. It's horrible, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive me.
It's like a layer of sedimentary rock by the ear. You could just go back down.
Read it like erosion line.
Yeah.
Like a core sample.
Exactly.
Wow, dude. All right, let's look for the light at the end of the tunnel. Let's search for light. Bring a subject that gets us out of this underground cavern.
Every family barrel gets a free swamp pickle.
Okay. I was watching the Muppets today. We're gonna take a hard turn here. Do you agree or disagree with this statement that Bert and Ernie have the same voices as Kermit and Fozzie?
Mind blown. What? Oh no.
Who in Fonzie?
Because I brought that up to my son today when we were watching it, and my wife was like, I had never thought about that in my life. I was like, well, yeah, I always kind of thought that that's what was going on.
So is it true?
Well, I don't think it's true on purpose, but I think it's the same people. I think it's Frank Oz and Jim Henson.
Hey, Bert. Oh, Bert.
Yeah.
2 for me, 1, 2 for you.
I always like Bert. He was the only guy on any Muppet that was so pissed off.
Hey, what about a grouch?
Yeah, he was a different kind of pissed off though. Bert was like, don't touch my stuff.
Yeah, they were the odd couple. Yet they took baths together.
Was long green, smells like pork.
Kermit's finger. Yep.
Everyone's just talking about Bert and Ernie's relationship.
You see?
Friends?
Close friends?
You see?
Milk jug friends?
See? That's exactly it. See? We're trying to go in a beautiful direction of the Muppets, and you've dragged them through the lake of fire and fury and milk.
I mean, to be fair, it was predestined because they spent most of their time with someone's hand up their ass, so...
Yeah, it's not easy being a Muppet.
It's not easy being green.
Yeah.
Nice save.
Now, you guys,
I like how Eloy talks from experience. I'll tell you, you try walking around with a fistful of change up your rear.
well, that's just putting me in an awkward position now, isn't it, Bales? Now, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, remember when the little trolley train would go, out from wherever Mr. Rogers was
To the land
and
of
then
make-believe.
Right.
into the land of make-believe? As a kid, I'm just going to ask you this question, and I want to see what you guys say, but I enjoyed the whole thing, but I always thought that I always wanted the land to be more like the castle and stuff. It looked a little bit too cheap, and I always wanted to be more a little bit not darker, but just more textures and depth to it. I always thought that as a kid. I was like, man, this would be great if it was more. Did you guys ever look at the set or that? Did you just accept it as is, or did you think of how it could be improved? Did that kind of thought ever cross your mind?
I thought that Mr. Rogers built all that by himself, so I was always impressed. I was like, wow, look at he built this outside of his house. I always thought that was how, for whatever reason, in my head, I equated that the trolley just ran outside and that the land of make-believe was right on the other side of the door in the yard.
That is awesome.
And that
I did not like the land of make believe. When I heard that bell and that trolley, I had this thing in my stomach. It was like, oh no, we're going there. You got the creepy doll thing talking, and I didn't like it.
Was it creepy though? Yeah,
I thought it was creepy.
Yeah, I can see that.
I liked Good King Friday.
Yeah, but there was something. Yeah, there's something a little bit off about that. The way, like for instance, the Muppets. It's cool and stuff, but that had a little bit of a creep factor. I kind of agree with Rory. There was something about it. It was cool. Like it's better than nothing because that's what we had during the day.
The puppet's mouth didn't move. Which I think was why it was creepy. They had no, like, their eyes didn't emote, neither did their mouths. They were just, like, shaking. That's how they emoted.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that one horror movie, Puppet Master? When did that come out?
I do not like the Chucky movies.
That was 89. So maybe it was Puppet Master that messed me up, and I didn't like Mr. Rogers.
Could be, dude.
One of Pennsylvania's favorite sons, Fred Rogers.
Oh, really?
From Pittsburgh, PA.
So how was your adventure in the meetup, Bales?
Oh, yeah. How does weekend go?
Oh, it was pretty dead.
What?
I guess one of the major vendors pulled out because of a family illness, a pretty serious family illness.
Oh, that's
and they were one of the retail vendors that brought a lot of product and filled several rows. So the space felt quite empty, and there weren't tons of people there. Let's see. Sway, Gagne, Carruthers, Rody Jeff, they were all there. Mayette, Jimmy was there. It was a pretty small group. And I got there around 1:30, and everyone was splitting around 5. And most of them went over to, was it a freaking Applebee's or a Chili's?
Okay.
And everyone threw like a burger and one beer down their throat and split.
Yeah. All right. So Jimmy was there.
Yeah.
Was everyone following Jimmy like 20 feet behind him?
He didn't walk around much, but yeah, everyone gathered. I didn't talk to him at all. I was like, I'll just talk to him at Chili's, and then he didn't go to Chili's. So
it's this weird thing when at the meetups or groups or whatever, I call it the Grateful Deresta, where you kind of like follow him around the country like the dead. It's like, oh, yeah. we're going, okay, we're going, everybody.
Yeah,
going.
Yeah, he was definitely the cool kid on the playground. That's for sure.
It's just funny. Like,
a
couple times I found myself moving, and I was like, where are we going? Why are we going?
Yeah. Rulo, Cousin Paul, and Harju were there. And the podcast came up because Paul Granger came over, and the first thing he did was pull out a pair of socks and said that he was giving me a sock job.
That's hilarious.
That's good.
Yep.
When art imitates life.
Yep. And then they asked me if if Eloy is really as tapped in real life as he sounds on the podcast.
If I'm really a what?
Like, does he really believe all this stuff he says, or is he playing it up?
See, what's messed up about that? You know what's messed up about that? Because of you guys, you make me sound, and with the editing and shit, as if I'm just
editing. Hold on, time out.
Let me defend myself. Because I just realized now that there's an actual like. Let me defend myself for half. You guys, and egging me on. Yeah, you're laughing because you're enjoying this shit. But now I just realized that you guys are making me sound like an insane freaking lunatic.
No, I said that you play some of it up. Like,
but that's a lie.
The whole conspiracy theory, reptilians, you play that up, but that you were seriously butthurt about the whole Instagram thing.
What Instagram thing?
The follow for the unfollow.
The social media etiquette talk.
Bales you're now speaking.
Yep.
I am completely shocked. You
guys have only been dating for like 3 months, and already he's answering for you.
Yep.
Would you like some more? No, he's fine. He doesn't want it anymore.
You know what? That's it. From now on, I'm not gonna say one conspiracy thing. From now on, I'm gonna be on the up and up, and that's it. Rory, you're the conspiracy guy now. I'm done with I am straight-laced right now.
And then they're like, "Hey, is Rory like part of the cast now?" I'm like, I really don't know. I really don't know. I just kind of show up week to week. And they're like, we get that kind of feeling that none of you know what's going on. I'm like, well, I guess that's acceptable.
That's not even true. We do know what we're doing.
I don't.
Well, I'm not the conspiracy guy. You guys egg me on, and that's just how it is.
This is like a half-assed commitment, man. What can I tell you,
dude? All I know is Harju took a picture of my little prickle up to his lips, and I got a pair of socks. All right,
good weekend, and I don't have a plan for the podcast just yet, but I'm formulating it as we speak. Scratch podcast is like one long, it's like an audible. I get to the line of scrimmage and I'll figure it out.
And incidentally, Rory is the conspiracy guy. I just want to put that out there.
What are you now? Are you the weatherman now? Let's go to Eloy with the weather.
Okay, this is how it is, guys. We're pushing that over to Rory. I am not the conspiracy guy. He believes that radio frequencies can divulge spiritual. Can you explain it to us?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, great. So you're going to what? You're going to pass it up?
Let's go to Eloy.
Are you trying to talk about EMFs?
EMFs?
Is that song from the 90s?
You're unbelievable.
And some Mad Funkers.
Well,
the only song with a sample of Andrew Dice Clay in
it.
Granger, don't believe if you're listening, dude, don't believe anything Bales said.
You're unbelievable.
Oh, you're always asking what it's all about, so listen to my reply.
Eloy, could you perform that song like acoustically?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
that would be awesome.
I'd watch that.
Hey, we got a song that we're trying to write. It's the scratch thing, but we need Bales to just do one drum frickin' session. A 2-minute freaking drumming, dude, and you send the file over. And to this day, I mean, what's the big deal? Press record and freaking go. We don't.
Oh, his finger hurts him again.
Yeah, don't worry. We can just add, a freaking drum beat.
Just program it.
We can program it, dude, and it'll be precisely in sync.
Mm-hmm. That won't work. I've heard you play.
I'm not very precise when it comes to, but the drum.
Oh!
Scratch